gentlemen. Thank you very much for giving me a voice. I will today talk about optimizing biogas production with many models based on article written by Dr. Singh and Dr. Upaluri from Indian Institute of Technology of Guwahati in India. The work is published in research issue of Clean Technology and Environmental Policy and is entitled Optimizing Biogas Production, a Novel Hybrid Approach Using Anaerobic Digestion Calculator and Machine Learning Techniques on Indian Biogas Plant. Municipal waste and crop is big trouble and big challenge and is especially important in low and middle income countries where population is growing and growing, not altering. So increasing the parts would be increasing the waste. So it needs optimization of waste management and implementation of waste management, which are toxic if not utilized properly. They need to be utilized the best for energy, which is also increasing demand due to increasing population to maintain this population growing, satisfying living level. And in the work, it was compared several models used in several Indian municipalities, considering the general climate calculations such as psychophylic, for example, in Himalaya, where a cold temperature, so not required, not demanded, cannot be mesophilic or thermophilic, and there was a very hot weather or condition when thermophilic can be applied or somehow also mesophilic, which are type. For this, the proper bacteria, proper reactor and profitability needs a model and cost evaluation. The calculator caters to the needs of anaerobic production models due to economic model for revenue and cost evaluation. Needs to assess anaerobic digestion units employed consider location factor, energy prices, product values, and government incentives. This shows the growing demand of using machine learning techniques to be solving many problems and controlling the system and changing due to changes also sudden. And these changes need to be lower, and these changes are important for developing ideas and therefore we get another biogas optimization and is very important issue. We have, for example, feed as different waste management, different plants, different organic waste, manure, and this comes to the digester. And organic feed, Gauss outlet, and inoculum, which we chose. And this sizing the model, costing model, give their operating three possibilities as the bamboo digester, floating drum digester, and balloon digester. They don't show the multi-stage, just for the three mostly used models due to most chosen to both big suitability to local stages is municipal solid waste in an immediate concern in every countries. The smaller collection rates through segregation that cause unsafe disposal leads to public health hazards and level of competition and socio-economic problems. The Cobresidione, the organic remains, is also unsafe and making air pollution additional. The biodegradability of organic waste needs to be can be used because it will be improper and systematic. Otherwise, the this organic waste, if in landfill, also will be biodegradable, but to the undesired level and mostly making some even toxic. So the issue is to build models that are make safe and another digestion, which is digestion. So organic waste is to the form of acid or hydrolysis to acids, low volatile carbon acid, and this is transferred then in metagenesis to methane earlier by hydrogen in acidogenesis phase. If in anaerobic digestion, if one stopped, will be made. Stop will be then the dark fermentation. But here, mostly we consider just only focus on anaerobic digestion as technology, which is already used in full scale. Then stimulation can be generated through anaerobic digestion, for example, for manure. In India, cattle and buffalo manure was estimated as uh, 1,000 uh, picojoules per year. And this is showing that the municipal waste of energy is seriously slightly lower than buffalo cattle manure, only but only 45 five lower is theta joule is cover. So 1 petajoule is covering uh, 278 gigawatts on 1 billion joules. So is the highness of petajoules, and this according additionally a big both myths give very big potential if properly transferred. The So the, these are compared some initiatives for municipal organic waste, manual, crop residue, and industrial organic waste. The programs are National Biogas and Organic Manure Program, and biogas-based power generation thermal application program, and program on energy from urban, industrial, and agricultural waste residues. Other program is research development and demonstration demonstration program. The new national organic manure program is suitable for individual and multiple households with biogas production ranging from 1 to 25 square meters, and energy sources for cooking and lighting and electricity is aimed. The biogas power based power generation, well, using not like national biogas only manure and crop residues. In case of biobase, it's using also municipal waste and industrial waste used as for electricity and thermal energy production is decentralized and from 5 to 300 kilowatts per year kilowatts and 18 tons omega watts per year, and other is for bioenergy and electricity program, the waste residue energy program, and another is from various energy sources, is research development, decentralized both and centralized. And now here are not given because it's research, the limitation or for power requiring just to improving the technology mostly. And this anaerobic digestion for for organic waste is good, so very improving solution. Disposal, then, according to some work, 80% of greenhouse gas emissions in the world is resulted from landfills and methane generated in there. So if we reduce this landfill, we would decrease sufficiently and our our greenhouse effect. Therefore, promotion is very useful and needs to gain some growth of efficiency to be competitive, and government needs to improving the legislation to make more and more profitable to use and apply anaerobic digestion. Another is modeling conveys that the research estimate microbial growth variables in digester. Such evaluations are used for complex and technical and for bigger issues because smaller, according to research, are not not required. And these two anaerobic digestive calculators have been documented in literature. Uh, both calculators develop scenarios. One is anaerobic digester calculator, and other is which tool is based on simple mathematical model, and other is decision making model, which is considered much much more complicated, and these are replaceable due to farm or factory or biogas plant size. This, despite of influenced by operation of factors like the retention time and temperature, so how long stay this waste and how to make most suitable for required waste and the required waste rate. Uh, in gaps, for example, heavy rain and winter is to some condition. So secondly, are not studied for skills for modern high climate, but psychophilic can be installed prevail in northeast India, so in Himalayas region. These gaps also small, medium, large-scale blast performance in Assam. Also, to improve efficiency, sustainability, the concept of machine learning should be applied. Machine learning has emerged as a powerful tool for predictive modeling in biogas production. The main significance of using uh, machine learning for biogas production is the ability to accurately predict the biogas production process, optimizing plant performance and increase it using anaerobic digestion models, which are suitable and now replace more by anaerobic, which machine learns more the use artificial neural networks to build models develop may necessarily generalize to other plants without the differences in feedstock and climate and process. While several optimization using there are still some gaps, it still needs like due to big uncertainty to variability and input data and the complexity of biogas production. Uncertainty quantification models such as probabilistic modeling could help improve the reliability of models. And this articles focuses on two-phase design, proposing an anaerobic digestion calculator for evaluating biogas yield and employing predictive and forecasting modeling for machine learning algorithms based on historical data and refresh updates. So the model should not only by history but sure looking for recent updates to improve this model. So robust later comprises the robust model for predicting biogas production, economic model for evaluating the unit person use cost. For example, for if something change in agriculture in ways, it could very fast change and update and make suitable ratio of ways to be mostly efficient. The machine learning predictive has several advantages to long term. Their models could improve accuracy, leveraging large volumes and precise, but they need much more memory and requires much big operation computers. So this is the trouble still. Hybrid integrates moving average, estimate the biogas production based on various factors such as feedstock and retention time. These models can be used to optimize biogas production by adjusting parameters to maximize the biogas production. Two primary components comprise the dynamic digestive calculator, a biogas yield model, and economic cost estimator. To estimate biogas yield model and economic cost estimation. Few prior arts based are on medical studies. The, the AD calculator proposed in this study has been specifically designed to cater to the needs of the anaerobic digestion units. Table 2 illustrates the typical illustration of AD units that are commonly used. The design outline are operating temperature, wet or dry, flow of digest feed material, digester counts, and biogas tank model. Common approaches for India are moderate temperature for 20 to 50, wet containing 5 to 20, flow alternative is very high, 55 some to 65 degrees, as mesophilic, dry containing up more than 80%, batch cycle, molecular cycle, bound digester are alternative to for continuous, single, and double, and floating drum. We have this, for example, model. We have the flow rates with, with some volatile content and biogas. The digested material can be used to fertilizer after some treatment, or other like for example, lignite cells can be as polyalkyl-free butyrate as source of polymer. The biogas production overview, several designs are applied. In Sonapur, Assams were used to accuracy, and the data collected were used for benchmarking for daily biogas production. AD rice feed matter such rice straw mixture with other organic waste. Fixed dome plants were widely utilized as a cost-effective, efficient treating organic waste and producing biogas, especially in rural areas where there is abundant agriculture waste. The technology is recognized and supplemented by government as means to promote sustainable development. Floating drum and balloon digester are two types of biogas float digester used in India for treatment of organic waste. Floating gas holded at rise and falls with production of biogas. Balloon digester, on the other hand, are made of flexible material that expand as biogas is produced. These systems are popular in rural areas where the abundant agricultural waste and need for renewable energy sources. So artistic. In case of fixed dome, digester are built for concrete of brick and dome shape and low. The temperature range is usually mesophilic and feedstock is solid or semi-solid. Production is moderate and sustainable, suitable to small to medium-sized farms. Balloon digester is plastic spherical in the balloon, low and 20 to 45 degrees Celsius. It is suitable for small to medium-sized farms. The floating dry digester is mild steel cylindrical in the drum and mechanical steering. Maintenance requirements are high and storage costs also high. The temperature range are between 20 and 40 degrees and suitable for large farms and industrial use, while balloons are suitable for small or medium sized that don't require so much uh, knowledge to maintain, according to results. Mm, to calculators for balloon digester, to calculate the volume and measurements of diameter and length are required. The diameter can be measured across the back or front to bottom. For comprehensive overview, are good for considered digestions and dimensions of biogas in case of fixed dome plan, which are also embedded design, incorporate also called. For several different sizes of the embedded digest or fixed dome is kept care base is typically around 30% of radius of digestion. It is sufficient to measure maximum diameter using the methodology described as chemical design. Floating drum plant is the plant construction consists of two cylinders for floating drum biogas plants. a larger one serving as the digest and smaller one as the crust storage tank. The digest volume and diameter and height are necessary, and this suggested is has been estimated for multiplying by a factor of 2-3 for gas storage time. Accurate estimation requires considering both digestion and gas storage volume, with the gas storage representing about 30% of total. Base model are digestion time and substrate retention volume requirements. The variation comes to according to composition of organic materials. Important are temperature impact, because 24-45 are often for small-scale biogas plants. The biogas plant is according to maximize production rate per day. In colder, the slurry is heated to maintain the temperature within the range, sometimes using for the produced biogas for this purpose. And in case rates of biogas in different from this was compared grass to wheat straw, rice straw, grass, constant food waste, vegetable waste, newswear, and organic very um, very it was very general selection, and the highest is, as in, for example, in dark fermentation, fixed mixed food waste, and then some vegetable shadow food waste and fruit waste. The least are for mixed organic waste with some using, and highest densities for using from fruit waste, and percentage, the highest is from grass, because we have to design such this design calculator to make 60 to 40%, 60 to 80%. 80% is the best, but requiring also some addition, for example, using, as in Germany plants often, uh, bio bioheating, so upgraded using hydrogen for using that fermentation process, for example. The capex is losing cost of land and labor cost, and fixed capital expenditure, and for total capital investment includes various costs, including construction of the plant, equipment, building, and electricity. Operating costs are requiring labor and rent costs, and these labor costs are biggest trouble in every biogas plant form, and profitability analysis using net present value feedback, and this shows this challenging to adopt and requiring to use the all requirements result of the biogas description generation requires much respect, and the biggest according to the issue is the biggest is indices are better for balloon digestion, while fixed dome is mostly requiring less requirement from capital cost. Capital costs required base are useful in this way is fixed dome and flow digester, while balloon digester is less capacity flow, and this is showing that similar floating drum requires much cost, and the fixed dome is the lowest, while the land is the similar cost, how high, and maintenance costs are the biggest in floating drum, but lowest in fixed dome. Also, its salary, which in floating drum digest is quite high due to high labor facility requirements, And general plans overhead mm, is that the balance digester are quite inexpensive per kilogram of yield, but overall, the not requiring so much space is making that also fine in small areas. Fix them a bed. And this shows another that in the fixed dome digester is fit material is up to 700 and 800 kilograms per day, while in floating drum is just 70 and 800. So between mixed organic waste, a big difference, and the all is rise as silage as most propose. But here the the retention time for floating drum is the highest, while the fixed drum is the lowest. So while production per rate is the highest in fixed drum. So this is the what to do. Barrel digester has lowest cost, but not such bad as production per day, and the net profit is in some case especially in mix in high organic mixed waste is big the margin in fixed term than in case of balloon digester which is the lowest. In the middle are floating drum. So this is the troubles how to cost and make efficiency. So thank you very much for listening.